Welcome back. You've joined the South Auckland chapter as we're just preparing to roll out of the Z service station at Bombay. Now we're heading off on a chapter ride today, which is kind of an all-day ride. This one's leaving about 9:30 from the Bombay service station. We're heading up Mill Road, and there's about 12 bikes. Our ultimate destination today is Te Aroha, but this particular video is going to show the around about 60 kilometre stretch from the Z Bombay down to Ngatea on the Hauraki Plains. Now this was a pretty enjoyable route. We got pretty much onto the top end of Paparata Road, leading us down through into Mangatawhiri, and there's some really nice riding along this road, and the conditions were great. We left off from Bombay in sunshine, which might have fooled us into a false sense of comfort. In fact, before we left Bombay, road captain Tony said, look, if anyone thinks it's going to rain, you should probably put on your wets now, because we're not going to stop. This ride is going to take us straight through to Ngatea, not terribly far to go. And I don't think one single person put on the wets, and we all thought what a clever idea that was, until a bit later on, but we'll cover that when we get to it. For now, we're just enjoying riding through the countryside on Paparata Road, and it really is quite picturesque. Like I said, the roads are dry and the countryside is green, as it should be with all the rain that we've been having these days. Ahead of us you can see a rider that we don't often see riding with us, or in fact never, and that is Ken and Kerry from East Coast Hog, and they join us at Bombay. And the plan on this particular ride is we're going to ride through to Ngatea and meet with some riders from East Coast Hog, and then all ride together through to our ultimate destination. That was the plan anyway. Didn't quite work out that way, but we are happy to have Ken and Kerry riding with us, at least through to Ngatea. It was, good times. Looking up on the hillside there, you can see probably a video of a few weeks back. We came down this way, and that hillside was all green. And well, it's still green, but there's a lot of slips happening up there because the amount of rainfall we had in these parts has been pretty severe, and roadways, hillsides have been collapsing all over the place. Now, as you can see, road captain's dropped a direction marker here that we're carrying straight on along. Paparata Road has now become Paparimu Road, and this will lead us all the way through to Mangatawhiri. We're going to switch on to Lyons Road, where we will have a regroup. It's along Paparimu Road that we do actually cross over the imaginary line, imaginary rail, call it what you will, that links between the Auckland region and Waikato region. So we're now in the Waikato and making our way through here, and it was when we got into the Waikato that we started to strike some wet weather. As we're coming up to Mangatawhiri, we did take a regroup break at the end of Lyons Road, and as we're approaching the end of that stretch of road and pulling over to have a bit of a catch up by a shed at the end of the road, and the few moments it took to settle there, the rain started to come in, light at first, and then we set off, and it pretty quickly became torrential, and none of us had wets on. As promised by our road captain, we weren't stopping, we carried on going, and usually that'd be fine, but because you ride yourself dry, but the volume of rain that came through was quite something else. And one thing you can't ride dry is rain that gets into your boots, and that happens when your riding jeans get soaked and the water runs down your legs, fills up your boots. So we had wet feet the rest of the day, but after 25 minutes of riding, which I didn't actually record because there's very little point, all you're going to see is rain, 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 and not a lot else, not a lot of vision there. But at this point we're just starting to get out onto the flatlands in Miranda, and as you can see, the rain is starting to just fade away. Now, there were some very slippery stretches along Miranda Straits. Normally it's some area where you can really give it a little bit of a tickle, bit of a turn, but no such options happening along there today. There were some very, very slick and slippery spots with shiny tar seal that had just become like an oil slick in several places. We passed an overturned car, didn't have a camera running. It wasn't a recent accident, it happened the night before or something, but treacherous conditions along there, so quite happy to get off that Miranda Road, to be fair. And that's exactly what we're doing here. I was just marking the corner, and now we're turning down State Highway 25, and this road will take us, if you stay on it, straight down to the hills ahead, which are the Coromandel Ranges. If you turn left, you can head up the way towards Thames and carry on along the coast road through to Coromandel. If you turn right at the end of this long straight road, it will take you through to Aotearoa, and you can get around to Coromandel by the long way round. There is no shortcut anymore. The road was washed away at the beginning of the year. Hopefully they're going to remedy that sometime. Who knows when. Roadworks move in a very slow and frustratingly slow fashion in New Zealand, at least these days. Don't know quite why that is. Anyway, we're heading on the home straight towards Ngatea. We just turn onto Pipiroa Road, and you can really tell we're on the Hauraki Plains here because, man, this place is flat, real flat. Although you can see hills in the distance, that's always comforting for me. I always get a little bit discombobulated when I can't see hills anywhere. Flat land just kind of freaks me out a bit. Anyway, we had one final regroup here. The traffic crossing from right to left in front of us is the main drag, State Highway 2, which leads through into Ngatea. Small little township, got a great cafe there. That's where we stopped for a coffee and break. We're there a little bit longer than we expected. We were waiting for the East Coast hog riders to arrive, but they did arrive eventually, but by that time we'd already been here about half an hour. We were ready to roll out. So we didn't actually continue riding with them that day, which was a bit of a pity, but I'm sure we'll do that again another time. And this is where this video is going to come to a close as we bring the bikes into park and reflect on what a great ride that was, even if it did get a little bit wet before we head off for another half day's riding and finishing at Te Aroha. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll let this one wrap up. Safe riding out there, take care, have fun. See you next week.